Yeah, hello. I have one question for each of you. Let's say it's 2016. 2016 may be too early. It's 2017. What does success look like in your mind, in each of your minds? What does success look like for Egypt? Does it mean one company may be listed on NASDAQ? Does it mean a company being acquired by $100 million? Does it mean a big network of mentors? What does it mean? What does success look like in end of 2017? Sharif?
Well, I wouldn't look at companies 1 or 2 or 10. I would look at in 2 years' time, given the history that we have, the mindset, you could feel walking down the street that the mindset is more and more changing, going back to the point of scalability. When you talk Egypt, I don't think you're talking 1 or 2 or 10 companies. Even if you normalize on the illiterates and the illiterates and so on, you need to have large numbers. So I would go more for a mindset that is clearly changing, sort of moving into sort of a startup culture.
Okay. Walt?
Yeah, I was kind of headed towards that $1 billion number because that sounded good, but I want to build off of what you just said. I heard a young man, I was in Jakarta, Indonesia, he was 28 years old, and we were thinking of opening in Indonesia, and he looked me right in the eyes and he said, there's no better place in the world to be an entrepreneur than Jakarta, Indonesia, right now. And I'd like a 28-year-old in Cairo to look me in the eye and say, there's no better place in the world to be an entrepreneur than Cairo, Egypt, right now. Right. That would be success.
I had the same thought, but my biggest beef, I guess, with the kind of, I guess, culture that I grew up with as being an Egyptian in the diaspora in my entire life, is that I see the smartest Egyptians leaving Egypt, right? As soon as they find an opportunity outside of Egypt to escape, in their own words, they do it. يروح يجيب عقد في السعودية، يروح أوروبا، أمريكا، هاجر. Right, to leave, immigrate. I think a success is when the reverse happens. And when we come and say, I wish to go back, I wish we can all go back to Egypt, because that's the opportune place to be right now.
I think for me, success is a combination of things, but I'm on the same wavelength. So last week I was in California with a group of 18 entrepreneurs from the Middle East who went to pitch their ideas to investors in Silicon Valley. So I think for me, success would be for our entrepreneurs to stop having to come here to get capital, whereas they feel comfortable staying in Egypt or anywhere in the Middle East and are able to raise the capital they need for their startups. So with that, I think success is also for us to have investors who are willing to take the risk to invest in these young entrepreneurs. So I think, Sharif, you were saying that we don't celebrate a culture of failure. We also don't celebrate a culture of risk. And if I had $1 for every young person who came and said to me, Egyptians are so cheap, they don't want to invest. Or even your friend Mohammed Gaudat who said at Google, who said the problem with the Middle East is that they're cheap. They don't want to invest in businesses. They don't want to see them go to scale. So for me, success would be to reverse all of that, for our entrepreneurs to find the capital they need in Egypt and in the Middle East, and to actually have investors who are willing to put up the investment required to help businesses go to scale.
I echo all of these, but I'll add one more thing, which is just some of the social and behavioral changes is hopefully there will be enough people that will have the entrepreneurial mentality, not necessarily in the business sense, but not being deterred by constraints. If they see a problem, they go out and try to change it. If they see an opportunity, they go out and try to grab it. If they see a challenge, they try to resolve it. And then everybody's helping those people in their aspirations and trying to resolve these issues.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just one word. We have a small neighbor next to us that has 100 listed NASDAQ companies. 100 listed NASDAQ companies. Israel have 100 listed NASDAQ companies. Incredible success. I guess it's coffee time, coffee break? No?